UVA wants professional talent across the boards. They need so much and to cover such a variety. UVA is associated with Charlottesville, and Charlottesville's a rich, sought after, rich with history, natural beauty, and you're like, yes, I'm gonna accept this position and go to UVA. Well, not go. This is not for students. Hold off a minute. We need to talk again. Where are you going to live? What's your lifestyle going to be? That's what we're talking about today. Maybe not, it may not be as simple or easy as you think. Literally writing off, signing off on your job offer, calling the moving truck company and getting everything shipped down here to Charlottesville or over here or up here to Charlottesville. Let's talk about what's going on. So before you pack everything up, because I'm here to tell you, it's a new employer, a new community, but TJ doesn't necessarily have your back. And that's why I'm here, because I do. I am not the Chamber of Commerce, as you know, you've heard me say that before, and it's not going to be a right fit for everybody. But today, we're going to talk about the top areas in and around Charlottesville that I have helped and that I know UVA associated folks love to be. Is this all official? No. Is there other methods of finding out? Absolutely. Is this a main concern? It should be. Jumping right into it. Here we go. So first and foremost, what we need to know is when you're talking to me, you need to know where your office is going to be. Is it going to be on the grounds? Remember, UVA doesn't have a campus. So is it going to be on the grounds? Is it going to be in the 29 North corridor? Is it going to be out at Zines Crossroad? For heaven's sake, is it going to be in Culpeper of all places? This is going to be the number one question about where it's probably going to be the best fit for you. And that brings up the next one. The next one is who's going to be in your moving circle? Okay. So what do I mean by that? Well, is it just going to be you? Because that will open up a lot more corridors and houses and living options. Is it going to be you and extended family? Is it going to be you, a significant other, and two-legged babies running around that you need to consider, say things like safety schools, location, commuting? Is it going to be you and four-legged babies? Or is it going to be all of the above? I've helped all of the above. So that's why we need to know this as we're getting into this. Location, location, location. Now, here's the other thing I want to remind you of. Students, congratulations. Very happy for you. If you're a student and you're looking at this, I can tell you right now, just go ahead and click off because it's not going to be a lot of help for you. This is not student oriented. I don't do rentals, but more on that later as well. If you are looking to purchase something for your student, again, this is not going to be the right video for you, quite honestly, because I'm talking about folks who are accepting a position, or maybe two people in the household are accepting a position with UVA. And you're looking at making this a permanent move, at least for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? That's what this video is for. So thanks for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and reach out. If anything happens, call me, text me, email me with your questions. Again, there are no stupid questions. I swear to you, I'm going to respond. You know what? It's a major move to move anywhere. So I want to make sure that if you are looking at the Charlottesville area, you have all the information you need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up my map on the computer so you can see me. We've been to a lot of these areas. You'll be able to check out my other videos. So as we jump right into it, first thing I'm going to actually do, I'm going to actually bring up and share my screen with you, because again, I know you're not I mean, you could be looking from Charlottesville, and in that case, you definitely will love following along. But if you're looking from out of the area, then you are going to want to get an idea. As you can see, what I've pulled up here is the city of Charlottesville. That's going to be ground zero. Most of you are going to be on the grounds or at the main hospital or at the children's hospital or at one of the Curry School, the education school, the new tech, you're going to be on grounds, which is going to be in Charlottesville proper. So the city of Charlottesville. So in that case, this is what you're seeing right here. This is in the dark red. Let me blow it up just a tad for you. So you can see this dark red. See, the dark red outlines everything with, first and foremost, what you're seeing in the dark red or circled in the red is going to be the city of Charlottesville. The biggest neighborhoods that I see that I often get requests for information or where we end up purchasing are within these areas. So very specifically, a very hot one is going to be Belmont. So remember, Belmont is going to be in the southern part of the city. It is one of the oldest part. It's very much set up in the grid pattern. You've got that. You've got North Downtown. Oh my God, if you saw North Downtown right now, there wouldn't be any question. It is just stunning right now in North Downtown. Now the picture on here is the downtown mall. So that sort of sits into it. But everything around, as you can see, everything around the downtown mall is considered North Downtown in essence. The next one would be, very obviously, Rugby. So this is going to be another very established, much larger houses, very connected to the university, but would be very, very simple to potentially even walk. One of the ones that I get questions about and that I see so many settling is actually going to be Greenbrier. All right, so Greenbrier is right here. Got it? All right, so Greenbrier, here's what I want you to know. The biggest determining factors are going to be, out of all those neighborhoods, those are all city neighborhoods that would be very, very accessible for somebody who is working off Fontaine, working on the grounds, working up anywhere centrally located for the University of Virginia. So currently, I pulled up all of these neighborhoods, all these main neighborhoods, and there are others. There are little pockets and everything else. So these are not the be all do all. Do not think that. But I pulled up these 4 major neighborhoods in the city of Charlottesville. Currently, there is everything listed and active from a $235,000 condo. So again, you then have additional condo fees every month. That condo was, I think, 600 square feet. So again, you can see if you're moving and you have 2 dogs, 3 cats, 4 children, and mom and dad, you're probably not going to want a $235,000, 600 square foot condo. But it's an option, because if you're coming by yourself, that would be an amazing option. That would be cheaper than rent. So that would be an investment. So again, anything like that, I'm happy to talk to you about. The biggest one I saw was a $2.2 million. It is a 1957 home located on a 1/4 acre. So that's your spectrum with that. You've got a 600 and you've got a huge 2.2 renovated house. You have the full spectrum. I've helped several new doctors who wanted to be super close because, again, proximity to the hospital, proximity to the office, proximity to all of that. Many will actually love the rich history of Rugby and that North Downtown area. But those houses, you need to know, come up fewer and far between. They also come up traditionally at a much higher price point, especially if they have been renovated. Many of these houses can be 50, 75, 100, 125 years old. You do not want to come into a new position with transferring your lifestyle from one place to another and have to renovate a house. Let's keep that in mind. And I have a funny story, but I'll tell you that later. They come up rarely and they go off very quickly. I would say on average 2 to 5 days. Probably at 2 to 5 days with multiple offers. Currently, there's a really super cute little house on Lexington, so that would be North Downtown. I want to say that it is 1,100 square foot. It's a 1950s bungalow style with potential to finish off above, and it has a basement, and I believe it has a sub basement as well. That was listed for over $900,000, and I know it's going to probably be under contract with multiple bids within the next few days. So they do come up, but you need to be realistic. But again, this is why you have to call me. I'm going to make sure that you're ready and prepared and that you know what you are getting into in essence. As opposed to, say, a Greenbrier house. A Greenbrier house, they come up much more frequently because it's a much larger area. The other part about living within the city of Charlottesville could also, you have to remember and keep in consideration, is commute. That's going to be a big one because that's a financial and a time constraint. So if you're within the city of Charlottesville in one of those neighborhoods, you're going to have much more access to be able to potentially walk, definitely be able to ride your bikes, be able to do e-bikes are very popular here. We do have those scooter rentals. We do have Charlottesville Area Transit, which is the public bus system, CAT. It is free for University of Virginia students and employees. You just have to show your badge and you can get on all of those. So those are going to have stops in many of these neighborhoods. So that's a very easy access for a commute. Most public transportation is not all, is going to be within the city of Charlottesville. So that's again why it's a huge draw. Also, to keep in consideration, because of commuting and it is an expense, if you're going to be driving, you need to remember that you're more than likely going to be parking at the edge University of Virginia. So this is, as you can see, this is the University of Virginia's page. Okay, parking and transportation. You need to remember that realistically, you're going to be parking on the outskirts of the university, and then you're going to have to take a University of Virginia transit bus or walk, run, bike, whatever you want to do, to your location. So this all down here, you can see medical center. This is where a lot of you will be parking. Scott Stadium, just so you know. So over by the football stadium is where you're probably going to be parking. See, that's the football stadium right there. And that's where a ton of parking is. So this red line would then take you over into a lot of the campus, the grounds, to the office buildings, to the schools and all that. So you would be going that way. If you were, here's the blue line. So the blue line, as you can see, this is down here. Here's the medical center right there. But look at the big loop. The Emmett Ivy garages, Scott Stadium garages. So this is realistically what you're going to have to remember when you are, if you're going to be commuting, if you're going to be driving in. For one, you're going to have to pay for parking. It's actually not free to park at JPJ or to park at the Scott Stadium or to park wherever. Parking is traditionally always going to be a pay per month, depending on the access and location is how much it's going to be. The outer line, if on average, this is very much average. So do not shoot me or come after me, because again, it depends on a lot of factors, how much availability, how far, yada, yada, yada. Either side of $75 a month. Okay? So you need to plan on your time to drive to your parking You're going to pay for your parking every month. It's going to come out of the paycheck. And then you're going to have to travel from parking to where your position is predominantly held. So you still have all of that. So keep that in mind. Quite often the reason people prefer to pay a little bit more and live within the city limits so that they're close, they don't have to physically drive, commute. They can actually take public transportation, bike, scooter, whatever it is, to the office. Okay, moving on. So number one, City of Charlottesville, all the neighborhoods in the City of Charlottesville. Very, very most requested, most common. Again, lack of inventory makes people have to look at outside the area. But there are other reasons too. I would say number two, for most relocation, when I'm working with University of Virginia employees, doctors, professors, nurses, whatever they are, and there's a ton. Again, I can just not emphasize that enough. This spring alone, I probably heard from, holy moly, at least 24 folks who all have contracts. Well, for one, 24 folks that some had not signed their contracts because they wanted to make sure it would be a good fit. Kudos to you. Because one of them came and checked out the area and looked at everything. And you know what? It was not the right fit. Where he wanted to be, where they wanted to be, it happened to be a family. It just did not make sense. So they stayed put and he did not accept the contract for his position. It's not going to be right for everybody. Off my soapbox and on to our second most popular place, I would say, hands down, is going to be Crozet. Now, I know you've seen and if you haven't, go check them out. I have several videos about Crozet, pros and cons, affordability, actually review several new construction going on in different communities of Crozet. So Crozet is always popular. There's lots of folks coming in with families in tow, and they love the smaller, quieter, sought after schools is always the big one for Crozet. And they just want that smaller vibe, smaller community, closer knit feel. Okay. So Crozet fits that bill. Absolutely. Also, Crozet puts you in the middle of vineyard country and golfing. Old Trail Golf is out there, and that is a beautiful course. So this one, you would need to plan on driving. So you're going to have to add on that commuter time. The drive from Crozet to or towards the University of Virginia is going to be pretty straightforward. You can either go straight down to, and there's always going to be ways to like meander back roads that'll take you 2 hours, but the two main ways are going to be 250 and 64. Many people opt for 64 because obviously you can travel at 70 miles an hour, and unless there's an issue, it is wide open and easy access, and you dump off right there. You actually dump off it onto 250 and then into the University of Virginia. But those are the two main areas. If you're coming in on 250, it can get very gridlocked. 250 is traditionally, there are some places where it is 3 or 4 lane, but more often than not, it is 2 lane. So travel time, travel cost, wear, tear, gas, insurance, all of those are going to be on that. Your time, I think I said that, and parking costs. Then you have to add your time to go from parking to your position's location. Okay? So Crozet, very, very common one. Hold on. I just pulled up the map so that you can actually see. So as you can see, right here is going to be the University of Virginia area. Excuse me while I put on some eyes here. So there's the rotunda. That's like the center of campus if you want to visually just put a pinpoint in it. So the hospitals and all the schools are going to be all around this area. So there's the rotunda. Again, if Crozet is going to be a good fit. Let me just shrink this down so you can see both in one screen. So again, Rotunda, so you could travel 250, and this is Crozet. Now, how far and how long would that be? Again, it's just going to be dependent. For me to drive right now from out to Crozet is probably going to take me 15-20 minutes. If I was coming from Crozet into Charlottesville this morning at, say, 8 a.m., then that probably would have been pushing 30 to 40 minutes. So again, if that's you and you don't mind that commute, great. It obviously opens up a ton more options. Let me open this up here for you. So you can see 250 and 64 are going to be your main routes. Yes, there's some other ways that you can hopscotch around, but in general, those are going to be your two ways around. All right, I'm going to pause sharing here. Next, what if it doesn't even matter where you are, but maybe you are going to be working up at the UVA Research Park. Maybe you're going to be working up at the Rivanna medical facilities. Okay, so those are on the 29 North Corridor. So that is a big one that I have helped several UVA folks move to, is in that 29 North Corridor. So let me tell you about it. I'm going to pull up the map here. So next on our list, just talking about it, the third biggest area that I see University of Virginia professionals moving to is going to be the 29 North area. So I have just pulled up, and because I want you to see this. So here again, University of Virginia. In general, this is all Charlottesville, okay? So UVA is right here, but if you are looking at going 29 North, this is 29. So notice you would just be going up, and away, and then bam. So again, from here to here, let's talk about the first one. The first one is actually going to be Forest Lakes. It's a very large, established neighborhood that has an HOA, but it has, again, sought after Albemarle County schools, some very highly rated. You can check out the ratings at bestschools.com, niche.com, things like that. There are other options as well. So Forest Lakes, the next one is actually going to be right here. And that is, I'm just going to put these in and you can watch the line drop or the lines move. So again, Forest Lakes coming down 29. So again, UVA is down here. Down 29, the next one is going to be Hollymead. Hollymead has an elementary school and a middle school tucked into it. And then next you can actually see the Forest Lake South. And so travel for these areas. Again, it'll be on 29 South. You'll be coming into town on the south, unless you work at the research park or unless you're working around the Rivanna, anything. But in general, the ebb and flow is that's going to be a very heavily trafficked, but it is fortunately 3 to 4 lanes coming into town. So normally, again, it's not 15 minutes to get to where you park to take the bus to where. Now, if you're in one of the outlying UVA facilities and working there, you're probably going to be parking on site. You're not going to have to park at the grounds and schlep all the way back up 29 North. That would be ridiculous. But Forest Lakes, Hollymead, Forest Lakes South, and then this is a brand new community in here, and I know it's going to be popping, and I have some videos on it. This is actually Brook Hill, master plan community, very early stages, but some phenomenal homes. I think good value single family homes. They also have some villas and townhomes, so that would put you right here. This is Rivanna, the river. This is one of the UVA facilities right here. It's a UVA medical facility. I believe they have one of the surgery centers. They have different medical offices, and all of that is right here. So then the other one I would say is on the 29 North Corridor is Carsbrook. And you know I've done a video on the 5 best neighborhoods, and Carsbrook. We went into Carsbrook, and Carsbrook just sort of opens up into several different neighborhoods. Again, that is going to be an older established area. That's going to give you an entirely different vibe. The 29 North Quarter, so you have everything from much older, 1950s, 60s, all the way up to 2024. If you have to commute, again, it's still only about 15 minutes, but you're also looking at cost affordability. There's everything from, say, $375,000 townhomes. Okay, that's going to be on your low end, all the way up to about $1 million for a new construction standalone home in Belvedere, which again is one of the communities that's tucked in off of Carsbrook. So we see a lot of folks loving this area because, again, it puts you very, very close to the middle of everything without being in the city of Charlottesville. You're very close to all the amenities, to all the groceries, all the Lowe's, all the events for children, very close to SACA, which is our soccer organization of Charlottesville, but close enough so that it doesn't really add much for your commute time. So there you go, 29 North Corridor. All right, stick with me. The next few are ones that I bet you would never have thought of and may not even know about. But I'm telling you, they are very popular with UVA professionals because they put you close, they are affordable, and they're really, really super convenient. Again, why you need to reach out to me. This is all running around in my little brain, and I want you to know. But let me remind you. So, number 4, the best places for UVA professionals, and I bet you have not heard of this or even thought about it because you didn't know about it. Again, you're thinking UVA Charlottesville. The next one has been so popular, and we've seen a huge influx. I know I have helped at least, good gracious, probably pushing a dozen Virginia professionals. One of my coworkers, she's worked with a ton of the coaches and UVA folks. So this is going to be, you ready? Spring Creek in Louisa. Now, Louisa, very specifically, is the county. So I will pull this up for you and let you know. Again, I have several videos regarding Louisa. So if this looks like it might be a little, if this is actually sounding good to you, then go check out my other videos on it. So here we are again. There's our rotunda, right? So this is Charlottesville. Louisa is a hop, skip, and a jump on 64 going out. So here I am pulling up the screen so you can see. Again, here is our city of Charlottesville. University of Virginia is actually over here. And this would be a hop, skip, and a jump right. So Louisa, if you are looking at a map, Louisa is going to be directly off to our east from Charlottesville. So it goes like Charlottesville, Albemarle, Louisa. So again, I want to show you on here. Here's the rotunda, but also if you're working at Pantops, very, very popular one for that one. So here's Pantops, there's 250, and there is 64. You see they sort of run together. Hop, skip, jump. So Spring Creek, better housing cost, better cost of living overall in Louisa. The commute, again, it depends if you are commuting to, because if you are commuting to the grounds or if you're commuting to Pantops, you're looking at, probably half an hour from A to B. But if you're working out at Zines Crossroads, look, it's right there. You live at Spring Creek, Zines Crossroad is like 5 minutes away. But even with the commute, most of your commuter time is going to be on 64. Very, very quick, 20, 30 minutes to get you to the grounds so that you can jump and then. So it will affect your commute time, but I pulled it up or something like that. The other thing about it is the feedback on the schools is phenomenal. It's actually a sought after area for schools. You get more space. You get a ton of amenities. Charlottesville HOAs, the newer HOAs are building out, but Spring Creek has amazing amenities. So again, go check out the Spring Creek video about it's titled 2024 Most Affordable New Construction Homes for Sale Near Charlottesville. That's the title of it. We talk about the amenities. They have a pool, they have an award-winning golf course, they have a restaurant, they have tennis, basketball, walking, running trails. They have, and the HOA is not insane. I want to say that it's maybe $150, $175 a month. So it's not insane. And most of that's going to be included. Golf would not be included. Fabulous schools, more space, great amenities. This is why we're seeing so many UVA professionals moving and accepting positions and then moving to Spring Creek. Okay, now where? Well, have you been surprised by any? If not, I bet you the next one really is going to surprise you and you just can't leave. So what's up next? Lake Monticello. What? Seriously, lake living and UVA working, they just go hand in hand. Huge draw. I'm going to pull it up here on my map here in a second. Lake Monticello is located in Fluvanna, but Lake Monticello is a very active HOA that is focused around, it's gated. So if you are a gated community person, it is gated. So it's a gated community that's out in it's rural. Fluvanna is very rural, but it is based around one major land-made lake that's actually fed by springs. Again, check out my other videos. You can learn and see more about it. I'm actually going to head out there now that the spring is here, and because the last time I was out there, it was in the middle of winter, and it will be even more pretty, but I'm getting off subject. Lake Monticello, much more affordable. It's about 30 minutes away from the main grounds. So again, depending where you're working, lots of bang for your buck and a lot more space. So one of the things, they're all detached homes. So here we go, screen sharing with you so you can see the map. So here you can see how large, it's a very large community. But it does not have that feel that it's just so sprawling. There are, I believe, 13, it's either 13 or 15 different sections. They have inside the gate, they have outside the gate. They have a ton of lake living specifically. The shoreline, I believe it's miles of shoreline. So there's potential for being lakeside living very easily. Right now, we are seeing, I'm going to open this up a little bit. There we go. There's also a golf course, as you can see right down there. Right now, there are, I believe, about 18 active listings in Lake Monticello. They start at under $300,000, and most of these are going to be detached homes. I would say 9.5 out of 10 are going to be detached homes. So under 300,000, going all the way up, and that 300,000, you're looking at about 1,200 square feet, but the lots are beautiful, they're treed. It's an established neighborhood with great amenities. There's a pool, golf course. Obviously, there are several different beaches for the lake. So if you have watercraft, if you live on the lake, you can have your own dock. There's no extra fee. If you don't want a dock, or if you just have a boat, they have a marina that you can rent slots and space and storage at. But if you want to live at the lake right now, there's actually one of the listings is an $820,000. Do you hear this? $820,000 for waterfront, 3,800 square foot home. And it has been remodeled. So a beautiful waterfront living. I don't remember if it had a dock or not, but $820,000. That is the variety. 1,200, 38, non-lake, lake living. Lake Monticello. So much variety, also a gated community, and you might as well too. Can you believe it? I bet you didn't know about it. So, can you believe the list we've talked about so far? I got one more surprise for you, and we'll be wrapping it up. So the next community, and you might never have thought about it, but again, we are seeing a huge number of UVA professionals going to this community, and that is going to be Waynesboro. Waynesboro, Virginia, so over the mountain. Now, don't let this scare you. Visually, I want you to think about, so I just pulled up Waynesboro on the map, and I want you to see this. So again, orientation, University of Virginia. Here is Charlottesville. Waynesboro, you can access it by either 250, see right there, or 64. Now, over the mountain, so we talked about Crozet. Crozet is right in this area here. But if you were to keep driving past Crozet, you would actually go up Afton, over Afton Mountain. So that's why we say over the mountain. And you would end up in Waynesboro. So Waynesboro is just on the other side of the mountain. And honestly, if you are working and your position is located in Crozet or in Waynesboro, this might be a really sweet one. Most, not all, it's not like they stopped building. Most are going to be older homes and so not cookie cutter. So cute. Non-HOA, but the commute is going to add 30 minutes and it's going to include going over the mountain. But not cookie cutter homes, beautiful lots, established neighborhoods, non-HOA neighborhoods. If you want to do a garden, if you want to make your whole front yard a garden, then you can do that. There are new construction. They are affordable. They would be very much active HOA. If you're going to live in Waynesboro, what you need to also remember is that added commuter. So commuter time, commuter cost, gas, wear, tear on your car. It is, but so many are looking over in Waynesboro because it's such a great cost of living and just a much larger variety without as dense as Charlottesville and the surrounding area can be an option. So Waynesboro, who would have thought? I bet you didn't even think about that. Again, check out some of my videos on Waynesboro. You can get the full variety and you can see I have done everything from a new construction home, which I loved. I would have actually considered moving there. That was, I believe, $500,000, all the way to just touring around. I had lunch there the other day. We made a video while doing it. We learned about Naked Day on the Appalachian Trail. It's a whole thing. Again, this is why you have to call me, because I've grown up here. I'm not going to pretend like I know the areas if I don't. Does that make sense? Yes, I can sell and buy houses all through the state of Virginia, but that's not my expertise. And there are lots of people who will pretend like they know what they're doing and have no idea. So you want to make sure that you're working with somebody who's grown up here, who knows the university, who knows the builders, who knows all of that, so that I can find the best home for you, for us. I hope that you got some great information. And if you've got a new University of Virginia contract in your hand and you're looking and thinking about living in Charlottesville, that you give me a call, a text, shoot me an email. And you know what? The other thing I want you to do is I would love for you to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my contacts. And if you got any information or you got any little gleams of hope or good news or good information from this video, I would really love to get your thumbs up so I know that I am reaching the right audience with the right information. So my name again is Pam. I can help you with living in Charlottesville. It would be my honor because again, I've grown up here. I've moved away. I've come back. I've lived in multiple areas around the Charlottesville metropolitan area. And I want to help you. It is not about me. So I want to make that very, very clear. I am very honest. I'm not the Chamber of Commerce, as I like to say. We need to find out what the best fit for you and your traveling, moving, living situation is. If that is just you, if that is you and a significant other, if that is you and a significant other triple because you have extended family, whatever it is, we need to just chat. I can guarantee you, I can give you the top 5 that I think would be a good fit for us to look. And then when you get here, we can actually go and look. Until that time, I encourage you to check out some of my other playlists. Check out Waynesboro, check out Crozet, check out the Charlottesville Albemarle. All of those are going to give you really, 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 really good feedback. And I will see you next time. I actually do need to run. I am meeting clients who are actually looking at accepting a position. They come down from New Jersey, and we're going to go around and I'm going to show her the top areas that I think would be a good fit for her. So again, it's going to depend where her position is as to where she finalizes, but I want to give her the options. It is about her and her needs and her family. It is not about me. I love this community and I hope I've passed that on to you. And I would love to see you living in Charlottesville.